Bwah ha 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 ha. My name is Amy2 and welcome back to Talk to Transformer. I've already got a sentence here, so all I need to do is click complete text. What is this? There isn't much readable text on this one, but Amy2 sat in front of TV eating popcorn with Santa Honey, Bill Patrick, and a Horace Buffett, Kenny Jr. And Bill picked Twitter.com, St. Louis kids, December 29th, 2015. Bill Buffett take picture with kid he fed shit on St. Louis. Bill Buffett take picture with kid he fed the shit on St. Louis. What? This is like the thing that Joel got on Dr. Transformer. What is this? What? Okay. Amy2 side from TV eating popcorn. Popcorn 4. 6:22 a.m. Mona Lisa, bro. What? Mona Lisa, bro, is on a plane sitting. That's a typo on a computer. Next to Hank at 4:10 a.m. That's early. Duh. Hank sits next to him, to his. What does it mean by that? 4:11 a.m. Episode 100, Phoenix, July 18th, 2009. As they journeyed to Ari's compound, Ruby and Hank were stunned to see Team Tuana allied with Team Jax. Instead of arriving unannounced, however, a lieutenant from Jack's army barged into his house and suggested they accept their allegiance. Angered by the move, Ruby was furious and staked out the other men's hideout, where she interrogated each one in turn, ending up revealing themselves as loyal Jack supporters. She also discovered that their leader... What in the world was this? I like episode 100, Phoenix. How many episodes does this thing have? And what show is this? Ruby again! Excuse me? Amy2 sat in front of TV eating popcorn with her sisters for some reason. Nothing was happening on the TV. She could hear more kids and parents were arguing and banging on the door. What? She didn't know what was going on or what to do. Yang was at the door waiting for her with her sisters, but Ruby was a bit shorter and smaller. I don't think they're gonna be able to fit here, she said, walking up to her sisters and putting an arm around them. Okay, Yang replied. I'll go. Make sure they're okay. I just want to let them know we're here for them, she said to Ruby as she walked off. It wasn't a bad thing to be there for them, but... What? Oh, look. It's Popcorn 3. Last time it was Popcorn 4. Amy2 sat in front of TV watching what? Did I just... Oh, I just said Amy2 sat in front of TV watching popcorn. 3. He... Excuse me? That's not a guy's name. He was watching some YouTube video. 4. 2. V9G. I died of laughter as he took a bite. What is this? 5. V11P. Watch some YouTube videos. 6. V10B. Anime Shock 7. V10N. Read some manga. 8. V8P. A friendship. 9. V10B. A random light novel or manga. 10. V8N. What is with these like in between stuff? And saw there's nothing left to eat. Chapter 2. Once again, the opponent took a sudden half step forward. What? All the remains of his RS scattered along the ground, and none of his strength could be sensed. What? Only a low hum of heavy steel filled the room with a peculiar, dry, and exhausted wind. What is this garbage? The fireball reappeared again, like that one time, as if nothing had happened. What? Oh man, this one was amazing. Moon was watching TV in his car. What? Ah! What is this? Moon was watching TV in his car again. Frenzied Barber. Oh Henry. Elevator opener. Cleaning himself off with a water bottle of toothpaste. Everyone has a small uncle who was in leathers and drank whiskey and had a shooting range. What is this? Mercury 87 versus 7th Earl of Litchfield versus 9mm caliber. What? A gun? Wilson 357. Of all the heavyweight championships, it was only the ones you had to fight for that you were. In the most interested in you never to be challenged. A second year in so many years, this was my first single-barreled shotgun I'd had ... What? I like the Frenzied Barber O. Henry elevator opener and cleaning himself off with a water bottle of toothpaste. What? This is the best one of the night. Moon was watching TV in his car. Then he heard a loud noise, but didn't want to turn off the TV to investigate until it subsided. He didn't know what happened after that, but knew the noise was too much to handle. Then around 9 p.m., he suddenly became aware that something was moving very slowly towards him. As he backed out of the driveway, he saw something move over to the side of the house. A flathead black cat. Excuse me? When he pulled out, he was alarmed to see that the cat had morphed into a giant tentacle creature. What? What? So, okay, this is a giant tentacled creature, wow. That was flailing its arms around. He drove over to see what was going on, but as he got out of the car, he saw another black animal. Well, this almost turned into a tentacle hentai. Moon was watching TV in his car when he saw it. Soon after, the front windshield of a burgundy hatchback sedan was shattered. Darnell, oh, that's the best name, said it looked like someone threw a brick at it. He started radioing local law enforcement, which instructed him to call 911. Okay, so radioing them was useless. Soon after, the moon was gone and a roof rack in the Impala's sun visor. I got he got the type of car right for Moon, was torn to pieces. And it's not known where the Moon disappeared to. A local resident who only wanted to be identified as a goosh said the meteor struck about 2:50 p.m. Just after going into the backyard of his home. A large spinning orange ball crashed to Earth, but instead of the Moon... What is this? Moon was watching TV in his car. It was late at night and the doors were unlocked. The room was an ordinary looking one, except that the microwave was turned on. Apparently, he was watching the last few seasons of the show when all of a sudden he said, "Mo, there's a rude bear." His friend simply looked at him for a few seconds and replied, "I know," I smiled and replied, "You don't think it's a problem?" After a few seconds of staring at each other, he said, "I can't see anything to be afraid of." The friend then proceeded to cry and say that he couldn't move in his room at all because he was afraid that the bear would get up and look in. Apparently the rude bear looks in people's windows. Slater was repairing the computer when suddenly... Excuse me, what is this? Slater was repairing a computer when suddenly the key fell from its little lock. Being the public freak, Knudsen decided to find the man. What he didn't know was that the man in question was his younger brother, Tom. Oh, Tom, the adult Japari lollipop, whom he just had married? What? He married his brother? Excuse me? The storm. Due to Knudsen's sloppy work, Knudsen realized the error with his computer and was soon back to work with a new improved key. Nonetheless, the man in the light-colored suit appeared and started searching Knudsen's workshop for something to use the key for. Unable to understand his strange dialect and appearance, Knudsen had a change of heart and began addressing the man as his younger brother. What? Knudsen returned to his work and ... That would never happen. That would never happen. Slater was repairing a computer when suddenly a leather and silk mask, dripping with blood, fell out of a pew and broke on the floor. When Sergeant Barry requested help, a woman dropped the mask, and Sergeant Barry scooped it up with his dustpan, but found it was stuck in the floor. Just as he was taking a piece of dustpan and pushing the mask back in place, a fierce flood of blood began to seep down from the mask. One man's head was half hidden by the mask. Excuse me? One guard finally made it to the wounded man, and Sergeant Barry told him, "Up, buddy, we're gonna have to bring your hair down." Slater, whose hair was ... What? What? Slater was repairing a computer when suddenly the startup software gave out, and he was stranded in a silent world, unable to communicate with anyone. He ventured off into the forest in an effort to find help. He was rescued by a pair of wild blind men. What? Wild blind men who helped him survive in the wild. Well, you know, if they're wild blind men, they know how to survive. Vowing to become strong enough to protect the herd, Lyra followed the pair into the forest. but her friendship with Scrat put a strain on her relationship with Lyra's father. The Lyra Bell from Aladdin, excuse me, often played by Australian actor Ricky Shireshan, was kidnapped by Agrabah Sultan, who had her permanently bound to his side. This drove Lyra crazy until she was freed by ... What? How'd this suddenly turn into Aladdin? Slater was repairing a computer when suddenly he was thrown across the room. He couldn't move. I'm trying to control the computer from the side, Doob said. And the chair pushes back. The chair's stiffeners are designed to keep the chair stable in this way. But when a person's weight is so different than the computer's weight, it can distort the stability of the chair. For passengers, this puts more stress on the body and the joints. They also have less control. For example, even if the chair is forward, if the plane is going faster than 5 knots or about 47 miles per hour, the back of the chair might be moving forward. So the person in the seat can ... What in the world? Big Boy and Buddy were fixing a short that happened on their spaceship. What am I looking at? Big Boy and Buddy were fixing a short that happened on their spaceship. They were sent to the intergalactic dimension that suddenly appeared after BDA landed on Earth. Their special mission was to set up a new system of interdimensional channeling. Afterwards, they encountered the semi-demonic boss, Girder, the son of Bill from some parallel dimension, while Buddy and Buddy's planet was attacked by the nannies that had attacked Earth in the third film. They fought Girder in his dimension and managed to win. They later meet up with his mother, whom they believe is Bubbles, a girl who had been sent to the parallel dimension. This time they were unable to help, and Bubbles was locked in the hell-like dimension with Girder. What is this? Big Boy and Buddy were fixing a short that happened on their spaceship. Buddy had the problem of a big metal barrel that had broken, and he had used a chunk of meat and lard to get the barrel to go around again. Mandy watched on. Buddy made sure it was gasked. Gasked? Before it tried, it's like it tried to cross like gasket with something. Before putting the big block in place. Mandy was silent and looked into Buddy's eye patch. Apparently looking for something. Oh yeah, what? A beat passed and Buddy began to talk. I can't have that on my ship, he said. Mandy looked again. Her eyes rolled up in her head. And she swallowed again. There's no place for that on my ship, Buddy said. He tugged on Mandy's cap and she began ... Big Boy and Buddy were fixing a short that happened on their spaceship. Before they crashed into the main planet, off-screen, Ronnie was, for some reason, accidentally eavesdropping on it, and found that the man sitting right next to Buddy, whom he thought was their friend Justin Bieber, I just added Bieber, it's just Justin, was actually an octopus. That Buddy and Buddy's own uncle had mutated into. What is this? What is this? The octopus spoke to them of strange and monstrous alien entities. But Buddy's uncle, who was actually Buddy's uncle, had somehow possessed the octopus to accomplish some purpose that was beyond him and Buddy's uncle. All this happened in a single second that took Buddy completely by surprise. The octopus teleported back to the spaceship, in which it is attached to Buddy by the ... What is this? Big Boy and Buddy were fixing a short that happened on their spaceship because of his god logic. What? And who we are. Everything was so as planned. Big Boy has a part in this? Had a wipeout, and Buddy was all, thanks Mom and Dad. They'd crash and they'd lose their wedding ring. But how do you lose a wedding ring as a result to a crash? But a girl that flew with the team would win. We're actually dying. Does this make sense? So how did this happen? Oh, someone needs to show the little girls how to tell Big Brother that he needs to get this to the corner of his mouth or else. Then it was time for a double date. Only 3 of them. Excuse me? The guest list would be 12 or 13. Everyone on board was old enough. Big Boy and Buddy were fixing a short that happened on their spaceship. Basically, a few crew members were cussing. Buddy decided to look up, but when he looked back, Bud was gone. The next day, as they were fixing the short again... You mean the short happened again after they fixed it? The crew's mentor, Roz, cried because the black hole might eat her whole ship. What? Buddy, unable to hear what everyone was saying, got into an argument with one of his crewmates. After the argument ended, a white commander approached him and yelled at him about being black. What? This is racist stuff? Buddy tried to walk away, but the commander shot at him. Instead of surviving the shot, Bud was killed instantly. I like how it said, instead of surviving the shot, he was killed. Only a computer would do that. Both Bud and Roz survived, and were angry that the commander... Yeah, of course you'll be angry. The commander killed someone. What in the world? Anyway, I have to end this video here. If you liked it, please subscribe. And go look at my other videos. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.